Very tough spot here for the offense to start. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. It's the Bucs with the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. Prescott off play action. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And got his man complete. A big play for the Bucs there on 3rd down. 58 yards.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. 3rd down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So 3rd and medium here, 3rd and 5. Here's Prescott. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Brian Anger to punt it away. Back deep for 2015, Tyler Lockett. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whipped on it. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They start on the ground with Rawls. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
4 down.
On 2nd down, Wilson. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Tight end right. 36 power.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 15. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out come the Bucs now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front, because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They come out here in the eye. Prescott now on 2nd down. Finding time. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Prescott. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Prescott down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Shift together here from the D-line. They come up in an offset eye. And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 3 yards there on the play as that'll lead to a 2nd and goal.
On any 1st and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Second down, Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of work.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. They set up the screen to Rawls. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Now Wilson. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fresh set of downs here. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now it's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they're going to speed things up here. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. And this one is no good. He missed it. So some disappointment there as the field goal falls short, and we have reached the intermission as we will send you eastward to Orlando and Larry Ridley. He's standing by with our EA Sports. Well, my apologies, Larry. I wanted to hear the report. Somebody's in a hurry, so we're going to get him right to quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Wilson. It's complete right side to Benjamin. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now it's Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Wilson. Benjamin's got it. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Second down and 4.
Watch left, watch left.
They come up in an offset eye. Now Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And left side here, it's Graham. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. 4 yards remaining now on second down. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Rawls. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Direct snap, Rawls. And room there to work it inside the 25. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They run with a power back. Rawls. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
They'll run for it. Rawls. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 12 yards is the pickup there, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
Well, this season's going nowhere. No reason not to go for it. And it's a rare success for them as they keep the drive alive.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. First down, this is Rawls. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So this is the 2nd consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up the getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Wilson now off the bootleg. That is caught inside the 5. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. C.J. Procise, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. He juked him. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They go play action here on first down. And Austin Safarian-Jenkins has it. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On second down, here's Wilson. And he finds his tight end, Graham. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
He hits Baldwin right side. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark. Of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And taken right on the 30. Oh, another spin.
Hard to line him up when he does that.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Caught, Safarian-Jenkins, right side. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Second down, Prescott shrugs it under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. Create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Benjamin with it over the middle. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch. And it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, That'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. On second down, Wilson. And he rifles one incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The play clock's running down. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Here's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. It's complete right side to Benjamin. 11 yards on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Now Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smoked.
And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. K1 short. In there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Wilson going to throw for it. And he will get into the end zone as a 2-point conversion is successful. And the lead is down to a field goal here in the 4th. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call. And he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion. And now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now we're going to get a timeout. Here's we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got room. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And that run has to be so deflating for the defense. They needed the stop. That might put the icing on the cake.
Perfect word for it, because when an offense grinds a defense down and kind of takes their heart from them, and you see them start to sag,
victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the rain.
Three chains. Ow. Caught up in my, put your head on backwards, then skate off after engaging laughter about what just happened. Napkins get sent to mammies, is that too graphic? Catch you in traffic, you sitting daffy like stealing candy. My ceiling's out in my